Do you know how much a responsibility a lab is? Do you know that 40% of labs have hip problems? Do you know what labs need? Many people don't know any of this and don't know how big a responsibility a dog can be. Most people think having a dog is just having a dog and there's nothing else to it. But they don't think about the things that a dog really needs. Labs are great family dogs and don't only need the care, but they also need their owners. And by that saying, by needing their owners need to do a big part, which is responsibility. Labs need hours of training a day as a puppy. They need to be taken for a walk at least 1 to 2 times a day because they get very wild in the house. They can run around the house. You need to make sure your dog has food and water at all times while they're a puppy because they're growing, they're going to need more food. And counting in the responsibility, you're also going to need to clean up that mess that they make because they're really messy eaters. Flea medicine. You're going to need a lot of flea medicine with your labs because they shed a lot, they're outside in the wild, so they're going to need flea medicine. If you don't give them flea medicine, then they're going to get fleas and they're going to attract fleas into your house. They also need to socialize, which means you can bring your dog for walks with other dogs. You can bring your dog to the dog park. Also, you will need to watch them when they're puppies for your backyard, because your backyard will get destroyed if you don't watch them, because my lab destroyed mine. After all the responsibility, I mean, there is a lot of responsibilities, but that's not even close to what you need with a lab, because the vet bills and the care is a lot more than the responsibility. The first checks are always expensive. I know the first time that I went to take my lab to the vet, it was a couple $100, and in a year it added up to $1,300. Make sure they have toys and bones at home, because they love to chew. Labs love to chew, so make sure you buy them some toys, some bones. After the lab is won, you're going to want to bring your lab to the vet for a yearly checkup. And like I said before, it's $1,300. I spent $1,300 and my lab had no problems. So if your lab has problems, it can cost you a couple more thousand. And like I said before with the responsibility, make sure your lab has flea medicine and also their heart guard. Flea medicine you should put on your dog once a month, and also with heart guard, that's once a month as well. And like I said, vet bills and care is also a huge part of owning a lab. But lastly, like I talked about, they're great family pets. They are great with kids and they love to be around people. I have a baby sister, and my lab loves my baby sister. My baby sister loves my dog. They get along perfect. And when they're socialized as puppies, they adapt pretty much to any situation. So if there's kids in the house, my lab will get along perfectly with them. But if you have a lab and they're not good around kids because they weren't socialized with kids, so that's what you have to watch out for. And most labs have lapdog syndrome, which means they love being on your lap, they love being around you, they'll jump on your bed. My lab is 55 pounds and she still loves jumping on my bed, trying to lay on my lap. Even though they are considered a large breed and quite strong, you would think that they wouldn't be very friendly, but they are very friendly. They can switch gears and adapt to situations very quickly. They will roughhouse, and then 5 minutes later they'll be perfectly calm and be sleeping. And another good part about if you have young kids in the house, that my baby sister just lays on my lab and pulls her ears and pulls her tail, and my lab just sits there. She's perfectly fine. Although it sounds like a lot of responsibility and care, it pays off in the end when you have a great dog. What I always say, that I love going to the dog park and people say that I've raised a great dog. And like I said, it's even better when your kids can lay on them and it's perfect. They don't bite, they don't growl at them, it's just normal. I have a yellow lab, like I said, I have a lab, but I have a yellow lab, and it's the best dog that I've ever had. I wouldn't trade her for the world, to be honest. And like I said in the beginning, if you take care of them, you socialize them, they're going to be great dogs. So just think about it. And after listening to my speech, does it make you want to have a lab? Does it make you want to go out and buy a dog? But just think, when you go out and buy a dog, you just have to remember about the responsibilities, the vet bills, the care. But in the end, like I said, they're great dogs. Thank you.